Hey everybody, this is Clay Lehman with Ocala Hustle, and we are today sitting with one of our favorite community partners, Wear Gloves. With me are Ken and Wendy Cabertle. They are what is your title at Wear Gloves?
I'm chairman, but founders.
Founders.
Okay,
Founders are a good time.
founders of Wear Gloves.
Yeah.
So why don't we just jump right in, and if you guys wouldn't mind just telling us about Wear Gloves and the mission, that'd be great.
Okay, well, Wear Gloves, we started about 11 years ago,
Uh-huh.
almost 11 years ago. So Wendy and I and our 12-year-old daughter started it. We actually started the mission by traveling around the country in an RV and learning more about poverty and how we could help people better. So we've been back in Ocala now about 6 years, putting those things into play. Three of our initiatives right now is the Dignity Center, Dignity Roasters Coffee, and Church in the Garden. And those things are kind of our attempt at loving our neighbor better. So the Dignity Center primarily is a place where we allow folks in need to earn what they need. We feel that's a better way to love our neighbor by allowing them to earn the help that they need, as opposed to us providing charity and just giving them things. Because we learned as we travel around how it makes people feel when we do that. And then the whole cycle of dependency and the difficulties in attacking that.
Yep.
So we're primarily a workforce readiness nonprofit. That's our primary focus, and the Dignity Center and the Dignity Roasters Coffee and the things that we do with outsourcing our crews, working with the city. It's all providing workforce readiness skills so that our clients become more employable and can move and integrate back into our town and become productive citizens again.
So the path that someone might take in connecting with Dignity, with Wear Gloves. I almost said Dignity Serves, which was the class that when I first was introduced to you, I took your Dignity Serves class.
Right.
But someone might come to the Dignity Center, and when we talk about people in need, that is a way to talk about what other folks might call homeless people or people that are in poverty. Is that fair to say? I'm just trying to connect from what someone watching might think of when they're thinking of the people that connect with your group.
client?
Who are you serving?
Yeah, the terminology we use is the distressed,
Yes.
which is a wide gray area, and that's kind of what reality is.
Right.
I mean, we do have several homeless clients that work with us. We also have a lot of people in recovery houses, a lot of people that live on grandma's couch or
Right.
in people's sheds and stuff. So it's very thin. But yeah, folks that are in distress situation. And just like we saw when we walked around the Dignity Center, Angela, that lady that came in there, she will come in tomorrow and she will interview. And then we'll find out what her needs really are, and then we will plug her into the program to start meeting those needs. And Wendy mentioned workforce readiness. So in the video, it shows the parts assembly that we're doing.
Yeah.
That's certainly not teaching a skill, how to put nails in a pin, but all the other stuff that comes with that is what we're teaching.
Sure.
Showing up on time. You got to text in on Monday morning to get on the schedule. You got to show up when you're expected. If you don't, you're excused. Come back the next day. You know, show up appropriate, be appropriate, clean up the table and stuff like that. So we're teaching those things, which has been really kind of eye-opening.
Yes, definitely. And that was for me when I took the Dignity Serves curriculum. The thing that I think to kind of distill it down is that you may have a heart to do good and you may intend to do good, but without really connecting in relationship with the person you're trying to do good for, you may inadvertently be doing harm. And through the Dignity Center and the approach that you take, it allows people to earn what they need, but gives it to them in a manner that, you know, allows them to get back into the workforce and sort of goes on a path towards a graduation towards employment outside of the Dignity Center. Is that?
Exactly.
Okay.
Everyone's goals are different. We're not here to tell anyone that they must have a mortgage, right? Everyone has a different thing that they need. So if they need help keeping the lights on, or if they need to pay fines off so that they can get an ID back, or so that they can get their children back for back child support, or saving for rent and security deposit so that they can get moved inside. Everyone's needs are different. So we are trying to meet the goals of their goals,
Right.
and help them set those goals, and then help them take realistic steps towards those goals.
Sure.
And along the way, we're hoping that they learn some skills so that they can meet their goals and be gainfully employed to support themselves and their families.
And the evolution's been really interesting. So I know, that at one time you were doing pallet art and then coffee roasting and now the manufacturing. So can you talk about what the limitations were with the pallet art and then how that kind of matured into where you are today?
Yeah, we kind of, we know that we're not smart enough really to be where we're at right now.
Okay.
So we know that God is definitely involved, and we have a really great team of volunteers and board members that are helping us kind of go through this. So we continually allow them and God to kind of change us to meet the needs. So when we started, we learned that the benefits of creating artwork. So that was really the primary purpose of that. So we were actually allowing distressed folks to come in, take apart pallets, build signs, paint signs, and then we had churches that were selling those signs at the farmers markets to generate income to do more of it. But we were so limited on the amount of income that we were generating that we had to, and people stopped buying pallet art.
Right.
You can buy a few pieces for your house, but then you're pretty much done.
Right.
So we had to kind of move forward. So that's when coffee kind of came in, Dignity Roasters came into the picture, and then looking for that reoccurring revenue stream to be able to, really help folks that want to get rent help, which is really the key to have that reoccurring revenue opportunities for them. So that's kind of where we've grown, and we're sure that in a year when you pop back again, we'll be doing something totally different.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really cool to see. And I think it helps to have had the background that you guys have in the corporate world to be able to apply maybe some of that thinking, which I think is hard. And I think we could do a whole nother episode that talks about your journey. But I do think that by having that sort of revenue mindset from the past in there somewhere, you're able to connect some dots when you're saying, how can we serve more people?
Sure.
You're able to kind of deploy that old skill set. Would that be accurate?
It is for sure. We were actually just talking about that this morning with another couple, and we're kind of prepared for this stage of life right now.
Yeah.
How God does it. So it's been really kind of cool to watch.
And the reoccurring revenue, the idea of having a subscription service to coffee.
Yes.
That was what was really, really important to us, because we know that for every 80 bags of coffee that someone subscribes to, we get to put another family in a house. So, it's very meaningful, and every bag of coffee is important, and makes a difference. So when businesses in Ocala subscribe to Dignity Roasters coffee, they can know that they are making a direct impact on helping someone move into a house, helping a family become housed.
That Resolute Real Estate, I think they're ones, aren't they?
That might be one.
Yes. We have tons of the coffee, and we keep getting the coffee because it's great coffee and it's for a great cause. So you mentioned that you're ready for this stage of life. And so we're sitting now in what will be the new location for the Dignity Center, for Church in the Garden, for all of the different things that you guys are doing. So let's talk a little bit about what you're visioning here for this space.
Okay. I'll tell you, one of the hardest things that we have to deal with right now is people continually coming to us looking for help, and we're not able to.
Yeah.
Just don't have the space, don't have the financial means to help. When people are living on the streets, more than willing to work to get off the streets, and we don't have that opportunity for them, that's kind of where our hearts are being pulled. So really the cool thing about this place is it's going to enable us to have 3 times the workforce.
Wow.
And we already have manufacturers that want us to do 3 times the work that we're currently doing.
I mean, that's so
great. If you can imagine 30 people in here working at a time every day of the week. It's kind of the way it is. And so we'll outgrow this place too, I'm sure, which is really kind of cool. But just that's the big thing, is just amount of space to be able to
Sure.
So.
I mean, when we were walking through and you're telling me the different things that you're going to do, it's really mind expanding, almost mind blowing to think about. You talked about where Church in the Garden will be located, where you'll have your general store, and what this was another area when we did the Dignity Serves curriculum, to learn about how giving something to someone doesn't have that same. It sort of takes power from the person. You're giving them, what they need, and you feel good. But that doesn't take into account how the other person might feel. And that's not to discourage giving. It's just to really think about. And so with the general store concept, it's that they can earn to then purchase for themselves.
Exactly.
And the Christmas gift concept of,
Yep.
you become the hero when you give them the gifts. Whereas if you partner in something where they are able to buy at a discount,
Then they
that
can be
really
heroes.
makes a change. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
that's the trick. And really, just to give credit where credit is due, the Dignity Serves curriculum is not a work loves thing. It was designed by Phil Hissam and his
Okay.
group at Polis Institute in Orlando. So they're really the ones
They
that,
did the research.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we-
you guys lived it, to be fair.
We
I mean,
did.
that really helps when you guys have come in and are teaching and you
Yes.
have lived that, to be in relationship and learn the needs. So,
Sure.
I have a couple quick examples
Yeah,
of
please.
the, giving someone versus allowing them to earn it. You have the ability to earn bicycles here, for example. So people need transportation to get to work and to get to services. So they come in here and they can work for 3 or 4 hours and they leave with a very nice bicycle that they have earned. And we have found that those bicycles don't end up at the pawn shop. Those bicycles are taken care of, they're locked up, they keep track of them, and it's something that they've worked for. So now they have an asset that they own. They own something that they've worked for.
Right.
And when they get a taste of that, of being able to work for something and be rewarded for your work, they like it and
Sure.
they want to start working and earning more.
Mm.
So the giving of a bicycle is great, but give it to someone like Wear Gloves, where people can become
Right.
owners of an asset like
That's
that.
I know
It's pretty neat.
one of the churches that we've gone to in the past had a program where they would give the bikes, and one of the frustrations was they'd see the bike at the pawn shop. So
Exactly.
that's a great
Exactly.
example.
Yeah, and you touched on the Christmas store real quick.
Mhm.
I just have a charming story about the Christmas
Sure,
store.
please.
We were working. We had set up a Christmas store, and we had a woman come in, and there was a huge deluxe easy bake oven. $50 or $60 if you buy it new. Comes with all the food packs. It was very fancy, and she was so excited. It was $3, and she only had $5 to spend on her daughter for Christmas. And she kept going back to it and looking at it, and she decided, yes, I'm gonna invest $3 of my $5 in that easy bake oven. So we take it over, and she's wrapping it, and she had never wrapped a gift before. So I was showing her how to wrap a present, and she started shaking and crying. And I asked her, "Are you okay?" And she said, "I just never thought I would be able to buy something like this for my daughter."
Oh, wow.
And she paid $3 of the $60 gift. But in her mind, she gets to wrap it, take it home, be the hero, put it under the tree. She worked for that money, and now she gets to do that for her daughter. And we tend to take away that joy by not allowing
Right.
folks to do that. So that's kind of the concept here of our general store, is allowing those in need to earn what they need so that they can provide for their family, so that they can be the hero to their family.
Yeah, those are really great stories that I think help illustrate what it's hard to understand when you're giving. You want
Exactly.
to give, but it really helps to solidify
Yeah, so
the
you're
concept.
still someone still generously gave that gift, that brand new gift, but it just was given in a little bit different way.
Yeah, no, that makes
It makes
total sense.
a bigger impact.
One of the things that I'm just curious about in general is how the pandemic has impacted the needs in Marion County, and your work.
Yeah, in the nonprofit world, it's been devastating. The big thing is, everybody's struggling. So donor base, we lost probably 25% of our donor base, which was difficult. When we have so many people that were kind of counting on us to help them get through tough times, it was difficult. Another really difficult thing is volunteers, where a lot of our volunteers are retired because they're available during the week when we're working with folks. So a lot of them had to step away just because of the risk. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that was difficult. So we actually have clients now that we're paying to do the same work that volunteers were doing before. So it's making things tighter. So it's more difficult, but it's also teaching us ways of, expanding our horizons. So now we're actually raising up clients to not just do their work, but they're also supervising doing it.
Okay.
So which is kind of cool, but it's more difficult. This
Right.
funding and volunteers is the main thing.
So then, it's a natural transition then to talk about how someone that might be watching that's moved to help, how can they help?
Well, we'd love to have volunteers. If you're
Okay.
available, feel free to email us, info@weargloves.org. That's a great way to do it. If you're not able to and you're able to help fund, go on the website, weargloves.org, and chime in. I mean, when we started, we actually have homeless people that are donating $10 a month. So you just sign
Wow.
up for monthly recurring revenue, which gives us a good plan for knowing as we grow, how much we can afford to actually help folks. So,
Okay.
so we have people that do that, which has really, really been awesome. And you mentioned the Gideon program.
Yeah,
So,
let's talk about that.
okay, so this property here, again, in nonprofit world, we don't have extra funds in the bank. We have this property here that's cost $300,000. We have a generous family that purchased it for us, which is really cool. And we have 5 years to purchase it back from them. It's
okay.
kind of the way we're doing it. The Gideon story, we're in the Bible where God used Gideon and 300 soldiers to win a battle. We're kind of winning the battle with 300 people here. So 300 people at $1,000 each, and we're going to pay cash for this place. That's how we're going to do it.
That's great.
And the walkway that we walked in right there is going to be 300 bricks with folks' names or family names or church names or small group names. And we set it up to make it a little more affordable. So we have some people doing $19.25 a week for 1 year, or $1,000 check, or monthly, or whatever. So we love the idea of having a lot of people involved in our work, because we know that it's not us and that it's
Right.
just it's the
Well, it
community.
increases engagement, but I do want to say I love your language. You didn't say this is how we want to do it or hope to do it or plan to do it. You say this is how we are doing it.
Yeah.
That's great language. I love it. Yeah. Just shows infinite confidence in what you're doing and the God you serve.
Sure.
I know you guys are very strong and faithful. You'd have to be
Well,
to
God
do this.
God is faithful.
Sure.
He's the one that's faithful.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No,
Sure.
this is incredible.
So the building we're in right now is the Dignity Center, and this is where a lot of our parts assembly happen. We are also speaking with lots of other manufacturers in town that want to outsource some work to us. So a lot of that workforce readiness training will happen here. A lot of the light manufacturing, drop shipping, and processing happens out of this warehouse space. All clients earn what they need, which means we don't exchange cash. All of our clients are actually volunteers who will share with us a goal that they have. They do some work here, then Wear Gloves will make a donation to that towards that goal. For example, someone needs to keep the lights on, so they work for us for 6 hours, and at the end of their shift or at the end of their week, they get a check for $60 made out to their light company that they can then take that money that they've earned. They go to the light company, they pay their bill with money that they've earned. So that is how we allow those in need to earn what they
Sure.
need. So that kind of work happens here. Another building that we have here is set up as a garage workshop space, and we plan on training some construction skills, welding skills. We have lots of people in our community with lots of skills to teach, and we invite them in to have classes and offer some training so that our clients can learn something new and transition into a new career for them. We have another building here that will be the future home of Dignity Roasters Coffee. So that is growing. We have customers all over the country that subscribe to coffee now in all 50 states, actually.
Wow.
And we have expanded our delivery program to also include Alachua County. So we're going to Gainesville a couple times a week, and we have some cafes that are serving Dignity Roasters up there as well, which is pretty cool.
That's
so
incredible.
all that roasting happens over there, and all the shipping and packaging and processing. Our clients are able to learn how to work with food. So they get serve safe training, they become certified. The reason we do coffee is because we can offer food handling certifications. So that's why we wanted a food product, because it's a skill that a lot of people can learn. They get a piece of paper and they can go get a job at lots of places in town. We have another building that will be some case management, group therapy, art therapy, office space, and then a large field that's going to be our church in the garden. It's a church that meets outside for people who live outside primarily. It's a safe space to come in and fellowship and commune together. We have one table that goes around the whole yard. Everybody will sit at the same table because everybody is equal in God's eyes and in Wear Gloves' eyes.
Yeah, That's so
Yeah.
great. This place is so exciting and invigorating. So when do you get in here? You got to get through the hurdles, I guess, right?
Well, see, back in March, it was going to be April 1st.
Yeah.
So things changed since then, but so we have a door behind us there that's getting installed tomorrow.
Yep.
Fire marshal in
Yeah.
Friday, and then hopefully city inspection and occupancy next Monday.
Wow, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you
This
so
will
much.
be a culmination of, I know, a lot of hard work and prayer, and it's going to have such a great impact on our community.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's very cool. So
Yeah.
we're real excited about it, and just excited to see what the future holds.
Absolutely.
So,
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ken and Wendy. I appreciate it. I'm Clay Lehman. This is Ocala Hustle. Please subscribe to the podcast or to our YouTube channel and connect with us as we continue to tell the story of Ocala business. Thanks so much.